wonderful strike once again. Although he looks as though he has carved it out to the right-hand side. Oh boy, now we're in for some fun.
Well, Brian Barnes, of course, predicted this when we came on air. It really doesn't matter how many shots you could be in the lead coming up these last 2 or 3 holes. They really are tough holes. And if Woosnam can produce a birdie here, it really is going to cause a storm. Tries to look calm. Inwardly, stomach churning. Now, important shot for Woosnam. If he can put this relatively close to the flag, it will put more pressure on the Spaniard. Oh, and Woosey hates that. He's tugged it left. Obviously trying to cut the ball into the green. But he's got a favourable bounce, and how about this? Don't go away, sit in your chairs, make yourself a cup of tea. This tournament is definitely not over. Now, Brian, your playing partner Chris Moody was over there today where Alathable's gone. What's the story there?
Dodgy. You've got a few trees in front of you, and of course the bank of the green, and the green is sloping away. And of course with Woozy, where he has just managed to hit the ball to within 3 feet from a shot that he wasn't too happy with, anything can happen. Mark McNulty, 18th, second shot. Middle of the green, and that really is all you can do, because the pin position from where the boys are looking at it from the middle of the fairway is so tight on the left-hand side there that although there's £20,000 up there for anybody who manages to hold their second shot, anybody who could manage to do that would be an absolute magician.
Well, Mark McNulty needs that putt at 18 to tie third with the West German, Bernard Langer. Well, it just shows you how fortunes can change so quickly on the golf course. Woosnam really the poor second shot there. 20 yards left of the flag, but got the bank. Kicked back into the green, then down the slope. And he's got that putt to go 9 under par. Olathable currently 10 under par. 2 shots ahead of Woosnam. He's going to have his work cut out, I'm sure, from where he is to make 4.
Could be a little 2-shot swing here, Ewan, at least. At least.
Well, yesterday afternoon we saw John Bland in around this area, and he ended up with 7, so really is not the place to be. And the pin today cut on the right-hand side of the green, so no green to work with. Whatever happens, he's going to have to either run it up the bank or play it over the green into the other bank in the hope that it's going to come back. Of course, there's a few trees in there, so the latter he may not be able to produce. He may have to play it under the trees, over the bank, and really rely on a good bounce. Astonishing, isn't it? Looked all over just half an hour ago.
This is where fate comes into the game. All right, we've got the TV cables, and of course, by moving the TV cables, even if the ball moves, he has the opportunity of being able to replace the ball without any penalty.
That's about all, I think. No. But then it's up over there.
I cannot?
It will treat it as an immovable obstruction, since you can't move the obstructions far enough to get total relief. So then they have it treated as immovable. Unless you think you can get the cables further up, they probably will move.
Yeah, I mean, the easiest way is this way, and it bothers me for the backswing then. You know.
Let's get all these people off the cables, please. All the people off the cables, both sides.
I'm gonna hit a low shot, so I mean, if I have to move, I have to move it that way.
Try and back further.
No, we try now. Right under the goal. Good idea, mate.
Well, it's all happening here at 17. It'll be a while before they can get together. Get all the crowd back, get these leads out the way. And there's little Woozy there just wondering what's going to happen in the next 20 minutes. And I'm sure at the minute he thinks it's favourable. Back to the 18th green. Mark McNulty's caddy and himself giving this putt a good look over. Big putt this. This is to Ty Langer, 6 under par and finish third. And all the putts very expensive now. Well, it's virtually from where Bernard Langer holed from. It's on its way. It looks good. Slips by the left-hand side. So McNulty will have that to finish the tournament 5 under par, 283. And there's the McNulty profile, 36 years old. 8 European Tour victories. And second currently in the Volvo Order of Merit. And an excellent 4 from McNulty there, 5 under par. Well, that 7, as I said earlier, really ended his chance of winning the Benson and Hedges. But nevertheless, good performance. 4th place for Mark McNulty. And this is the replay of Ian Woosnam's second shot to 17. And there you see, he starts way left.
Hit it back.
Hit it back, he's saying. Well, that must have a little monitor or something in there, because that's exactly what it did do. My goodness me, look at that. 3 feet away. Well, you have to ride your luck. You get a lot of bad bounces. They say they even out over the season. But Woosnam will certainly remember that bounce at the 17th here at St Mellion. Now we've had the dropping problem sorted out. And if that gentleman would get out the way, we'd be able to have a good look at what Jose faces. As you can see, really a horror spot. Anywhere but hit it right, really, at 17. What did Chris Moody do from here, Brian?
He tried to run it underneath the bank and underneath the trees, rather, and didn't quite hit it hard enough and still stayed up on the bank. But of course, dear old Woozy, he's 3 foot away, has had a lot of time to sit and think about his 3-foot putt, and of course it's getting longer and longer all the time. But it depends really what Jose Maria does now. It's not that difficult a shot to be able to actually knock it onto the green. But of course he's thinking very much of trying to knock it as close as possible to have the opportunity of still making par with Woozy only 3 foot away.
And there you see a rather bare lie. 7 iron from Olathable. Obviously going to try and punch it into the bank in front of him. What really, he's got to rely on a good bounce here. What a difference just a few moments make. There's the low shot, the crowd like it. Now that may go up the bank and come back. Well, it's trying. And really that's a fine shot from there. But well, who's your money on now? All of you amateurs out there playing in the Bank Holiday Medal, I'm sure you have a story to tell. You needed a 4 to get your handicap cut and took 7. Well, it happens to the best players as well. And if the tee wasn't strong enough, then pour yourself a whiskey. I'm sure we're in for a nail-biting finish in these next 20 minutes. And if you don't pour yourself one, pour me one. This is very exciting stuff.
Jose Maria surveying his putt. And of course, dear old Woozy is, still has the 3-footer there for a birdie. Of course, if Jose Maria misses this particular putt, Woozy has the opportunity of holding his to tie going into the last hole of the 1990 Benson and Hedges International. Hope everybody at West Chult is enjoying watching Eurosport and the coverage of the Benson and Hedges International Golf Tournament. And that is what a superb try. Fantastic try from Jose Maria. But in all honesty, it's very, very lucky to finish with a 5. Now we're finishing with dear old Woozy, and I'll pass you over to Ewan.
I'm sitting here shaking, Brian. Amazing how things can change so quickly. That second shot really at 16, I think, unsettled him a bit.
Unbelievable, really.
You know, I'm sure if he just played that shot up there and at 16 and a little chip and run and made a comfortable par 5, perhaps he wouldn't have made the mistake at 17. But of course, hindsight plays pretty well most of the time.
Well, this is it. But there again, with the basin type green that we've got on 17, of course, Woozy could have finished left of the green and still been having great difficulty in making par.
Well, it doesn't seem he's going to have difficulty in making par, but he needs to make this to tie. Well, Lathable going down the last and he's pushed it. He looked up, he's looking at the spike mark, but I don't think that was the problem. Definitely looked up on it. Of course, very, very disconcerting really for Woosnam. Had to wait a long time there. I'm sure he would have preferred, knowing him, he would have preferred to go up and hit the putt after the second shot landed there. The wait, I'm sure, didn't do him any good at all. So, par 4 for Woosnam, and Olathable takes a 1-stroke lead going down the 18th hole, the final hole of the 1990 Benson and Hedges.
No, Ian, it wasn't the green. You looked up too early, mate. As soon as you look up, of course, you push the ball every single time.
Well, we've all done it often enough to know that. And there's our graphic of the 18th hole, 472 yards, 260 to the bunker, 274 to carry it. And really the ideal line just inside that bunker on the right-hand side. The pin cut to today, very near the water, middle of the green, but near the water. Not really a hole to go attacking on. And there's our look from the elbow of the dog leg back to the 18th hole, the 18th tee. And the crowd scampering down the right-hand side. Going to get a bird's eye view of what's going to be an exciting finish. Playoff, of course, not beyond the bounds of possibility. I'm sure the sponsors will be delighted with the way things have turned out today. Two excellent players battling it out, 1 hole to go, 1 shot between them. Here's the replay. If you watch Woosnam's head here, there's no question he came up a lot quicker than normal. Right hand came off the putter, and Jose can't believe his luck.
Don't go down into the hollow. Don't go down into the hollow, please.
Not over yet, of course, 1 to
Sit
go.
down.
And a hole that has proved to be the most difficult hole on the golf course all week, the par 4 18th. Still Woosnam's honour, of course, 4 to 3. Leaning to his left, that means the ball's probably tight to that bunker. Well, it's perfect now. Just in the edge of the semi-rough, but he's carried the bunker. The pin on the left edge of the green, so good shape for Woosnam.
Still, please.
Leader by 1. Everyone holds their breath. One more straight drive from Jose. Study of concentration. Oh, the crowd like it. And that's a superb drive from Olathable. We'll take a short break. We'll be right back with the action from St Mellion here on Eurosport.
Volvo, a safer car for people who care.
Please come back to me, oh fantasy. I'm in love with you, our music tastes so fat to have, oh fantasy. Campario's fantasy.
Welcome back to St Mellion for the drama of the 72nd hole. One shot between Woosnam and Olathable in the Spaniards' favour. That's the ball of Ian Woosnam.
Of course, by the look of it, Ewan, possibly Olathable is going to be further away from the hole than Woosie. Of course, that gives him the added advantage of being able possibly to be able to put it on the green and put the pressure on the little Welshman.
Could, of course, work the other way, Brian, with a pull shot.
Could well do, could well do. It's difficult to see from here, in actual fact, who has, as you can see from Woosie there, he's got his arms out, trying to work out whose second shot is first. I'm quite sure that Ian would love to be able to hit his second shot in first and put the pressure on Jose Maria.
17.
With the pin position tucked very, very close to the lake on the left-hand side. And of course Woosie here with the ball slightly above him, which will normally automatically allow the ball to come in from right to left. He has possibly the best way into the green to get close to the pin, but if he overdoes it, of course, he finishes up in with the ducks as I did yesterday. And of course that would finish and make the whole tournament history, but it looks as though it is Woosie's turn first. So let's see what he can manage to do after missing that putt on 17. I'm quite sure he's a little annoyed with himself.
Woosnam's last tournament victory. Of course, the Mediterranean Open at Las Brisas in March. That was curtailed to 3 rounds because of bad weather. Those of you watching on Eurosport would remember that. I think Woosnam likes the look of that. see it. So all down to Jose Maria Olazabal now. One steady swing. Woosnam just on the front of the green there, so not really a birdie chance. You can see his ball just in the neck of the green. Now, is he going to go at the flag, or is he going to hit it in that fat part on the right-hand side of the green?
Yeah, shit.
Oh. I think that was Spanish coming out there. Well, it's not all over, is it? Customary Bobby there from Liscard escorts Jose down the final hole. Looks so peaceful just looking at that pictures. I'm sure the players are not feeling that as they approach the 18th green, and a tremendous reception from the knowledgeable crowd down here at St Melian. Prepares his pitch mark on the 18th. And the reason I didn't tell you where Jose's ball was, well, I couldn't see it on the monitor. But no problem, sensible shot, played to the back of the green, the back right. And with his delicate touch around the greens, well, I wouldn't bet on him not getting down in two here at 18. Your ball was off the right-hand side of the green here, Brian. Tough shot or fairly straightforward?
Yeah, tough shot, Ewan, where I was, which of course was down in the little hollow. But Jose Maria's fairly fortunate here. He's got past that, so he's got a straightforward chip. It's just purely and simply pace that he has to worry about now.
So Olazabal chooses his clip. A little pitch and run, almost like a long putt this. Should come from his right to left. And just about 10 feet before the pin, there's a little slope away from him. Oh dear. Here's Donald the Duck coming back. Now, careful, young man. I hope they've paid to get in. Now adopting just a putting stance. Ball in the middle of the feet. Absolutely fair. Well, unlucky, that is downhill. There was just another couple of rolls, maybe another 6 inches onto the green. But that's no knock-in, is it? Not for £58,300 it isn't anyway, I can assure you. Now, if Woosnam was to hold this putt, well, we couldn't have written the script better ourselves.